Here is a complete, student-friendly explanation of Act 1, Scene 2 of Julius Caesar by William Shakespeare. Setting: a public place in Rome during the Feast of Lupercal, a Roman fertility festival. People are celebrating in the streets. Main characters in the scene: Julius Caesar, celebrated Roman leader; Calpurnia, Caesar's wife; Mark Antony, loyal friend of Caesar; Brutus, a respected Roman, thoughtful and noble; Cassius, a clever and persuasive senator, the main conspirator; Casca, a blunt Roman senator; Soothsayer, a fortune teller; servants and citizens. Scene summary and explanation. 1. Festival begins. Caesar enters with a large crowd, including his wife Calpurnia and his friend Antony. It's the Feast of Lupercal, where runners strike people with goatskin whips to bless them with fertility. Caesar tells Antony to touch Calpurnia during the race so she can become pregnant, since she has not had children yet. 2. Soothsayer's warning. A soothsayer fortune teller calls out to Caesar, "Beware the Ides of March, March 15th. This is a prophecy warning Caesar of danger. Caesar ignores him and calls him a dreamer. This moment foreshadows Caesar's assassination. 3. Cassius talks to Brutus. As the crowd moves away, Cassius pulls Brutus aside. Cassius wants to draw Brutus into a conspiracy against Caesar. He appeals to Brutus's sense of honor, love for Rome, fear that Caesar wants to become a king. Cassius says, "Why should Caesar be more important than you or me?" He reminds Brutus that Caesar is just a man, no better than others and even weaker. He once needed help while swimming and fell sick with a fever in Spain. Cassius is manipulating Brutus by playing on his patriotism and self-respect. 4. Brutus is conflicted. Brutus says he loves Caesar, but he loves Rome more. He's worried about Caesar gaining too much power and becoming a tyrant, but he isn't sure about killing him yet. 5. Caesar's suspicion of Cassius. As Caesar returns, he tells Antony, "Yond Cassius has a lean and hungry look." He means Cassius is ambitious and dangerous, someone who thinks too much. Antony dismisses the worry, but Caesar remains suspicious. Even Caesar senses Cassius's threat, but ignores it. 6. Casca describes the crown scene. Casca tells Brutus and Cassius what just happened in the crowd. Antony offered Caesar a crown 3 times. Caesar refused it each time, but very reluctantly. The crowd cheered when he refused. After the 3rd time, Caesar fainted, possibly from epilepsy. Casca says, "He swooned and fell down at it." He also reveals that Marallus and Flavius, the tribunes from Scene 1, were punished for removing decorations from Caesar's statues. 7. Cassius's plan. Now alone, Cassius reveals his plan. He will write fake letters, pretending they are from Roman citizens. These letters will praise Brutus and express fear of Caesar's rise to power. He will leave them where Brutus can find them. The goal is to trick Brutus into thinking the people want him to act. Themes in this scene: power and ambition. Caesar's growing power causes fear. Manipulation. Cassius manipulates Brutus with flattery and fear. Loyalty versus duty. Brutus is torn between his love for Caesar and his duty to Rome. Fate versus free will. The soothsayer's warning introduces the idea of destiny. Important quotes. Soothsayer, beware the Ides of March. A warning that Caesar ignores. Cassius, the fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars but in ourselves. Blaming fate is useless. Men control their own destiny. Caesar, let me have men about me that are fat. He doesn't trust lean, ambitious men like Cassius. Casca, it was Greek to me. A famous idiom meaning I didn't understand it. Here's a worksheet for Julius Caesar. Act 1 Scene 2 focused on Cassius's plan. Themes and quotes with a mix of short questions. 1. What is Cassius's main reason for wanting to stop Caesar's rise to power? Answer: Cassius believes that Caesar is becoming too powerful and fears he will turn into a tyrant who will destroy the freedom of the Roman Republic. 2. How does Cassius plan to manipulate Brutus? Answer: Cassius plans to write fake letters, pretending they are from Roman citizens, praising Brutus and expressing concern about Caesar's growing power, to convince Brutus that the people want him to act. 3. Why does Cassius believe Brutus is the key to stopping Caesar? Answer: Brutus is highly respected by the Roman people, and if he joins the conspiracy, it will make their actions seem noble and justified rather than treacherous. 4. What does the soothsayer warn Caesar about? Answer: the soothsayer warns Caesar to beware the Ides of March, meaning he should be careful on the 15th of March. 5. How does Caesar respond to the soothsayer's warning? Answer: Caesar ignores the warning and calls the soothsayer a dreamer, showing his arrogance and overconfidence. Long answer question from Julius Caesar, Act 1, Scene 2. 1. Explain how the theme of manipulation is shown in Act 1, Scene 2. Answer: the theme of manipulation is strongly shown through Cassius's actions in this scene. Cassius uses flattery, persuasion, and deception to influence Brutus. He appeals to Brutus's sense of honor by telling him that Rome needs his leadership and that Caesar is a threat to the Republic. Cassius says the fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars but in ourselves, to convince Brutus that he must act instead of blaming fate. He also plans to write fake letters from Roman citizens, praising Brutus and warning against Caesar. This manipulation is important because it sets the foundation for Brutus's inner conflict and eventual decision to join the conspiracy.